Hello everyone, your favorite disgraced science teacher here. My nephew talks a lot about dinosaurs, but one thing he almost never talks about is the actual process in which we know about dinosaurs, and that's fossils. In a nutshell, fossils are formerly organic matter that ended up being turned into stone, basically being stones that are like snapshots of what came in the past. Fossils come in all shapes and sizes, but regardless of where they came from, most fossils have a similar origin. Skeleton fossils are the result of a creature being buried quickly after death, or sometimes buried to death. The soft parts end up dissolving away over time, leaving nothing but the hard parts like bones and teeth, which end up being coated in sedimentary materials, turning the former bone into a rock. And eventually, thanks to erosion, the fossils get closer to the surface, making them easier to come across. Some animals fossilize better than others. Sharks pretty much never have their bodies preserved because their skeleton's made of cartilage, which rots a lot faster than bone. It's the reason why skeletons don't have ears or a nose. Meanwhile, we have plenty of fossilized shells because shells are super hard and most shelled animals live underground, meaning they're ripe for fossilization. And of course, there's the most famous fossils. Those are the dinosaurs. Sadly, large dinosaurs only tend to leave behind small sections like skulls or teeth, only rarely leaving behind anything close to completion. Even the most famous dinosaur T-Rex hasn't had a single complete skeleton found. Smaller animals fare better since there's less things to fossilize, and in fact it was the complete small dinosaur skeletons of theropods that led people to realize that dinosaurs were not all quadrupeds, because right there was a full skeleton of a creature that was clearly bipedal. However, the lack of complete fossils has often led to wild assumptions about animals. Dinosaurus was only known from its arms for the longest time, so we had to guess what its body looked like until we found more complete bones. Therizinosaurus was only had its claws at first, which were interpreted as the flippers of a sea turtle. Spinosaurus. No, just Spinosaurus. If there's a missing part of an animal's body, we really have to guess what the missing part looked like based on their relatives. Megalodon has only had its teeth and jaws discovered, so we still don't know what it would have looked like, for example. And some animals are so fragmentary they don't even have a name yet because there's a lack of material to work with to properly classify them. And sometimes bones can tell us about an animal's behavior, like bite or scratch marks on fossils indicating predatory behavior. Sometimes animals die while in a tussle, and that gets preserved, most famously the fighting dinosaurs, consisting of a velociraptor or protoceratops, who died mid-fight. Some animals get preserved with their stomach contents, like the famous Xiphactinus fossil, fish in a fish, which shows the bones of their relative Gillicus in its gut. These fossils tell us what they ate or preyed on, but sometimes we do get the wrong idea from a fossil. Coelophysis was long thought to be a cannibal from the bones in their gut region, which were originally assumed to be their young, until studies revealed that some of them were either crocodilians in the stomach or adults that just coincidentally died on top of their young. Or Oviraptor, which, because it was fossilized on top of a nest, led people to believe it was a nest parasite, until it turned out that the eggs were Oviraptor eggs, meaning that it was a parrot, not a thief. It's not just body parts that get fossilized, though. Poop often gets fossilized, which can give insight on a dinosaur's diet. Fossilized eggs and nests give us a clue to how attentive parents would have been. The bones of Maiasaura young were underdeveloped, meaning they wouldn't have been able to leave the nest and the parents had to bring them food, for example. And then there's the clearest vision of the past, amber. This fossilized tree sap sometimes has things inside that were undoubtedly killed by getting engorged by the sap. And the sap acted as a barrier, allowing the creature inside to be almost frozen for millions of years, allowing us to see what they would have looked like in life. Footprints can get fossilized, allowing us to get an idea of how fast they move and how long their strides were, and sometimes, though rarely, skin will get fossilized, allowing us to know a creature's skin patterns. Well, like I said, it's very rare for soft tissue to fossilize. Now, one thing to note is that fossils take a long time to form, and I mean millions of years. So the skeletons of animals like woolly mammoths or Smilodon haven't been buried long enough to fully become rock yet, so they're technically not fossils at the moment. And speaking of Cenozoic animals, we've occasionally found animals from the Ice Age frozen in the ice, allowing us to get a look at what they looked like in life. And of course, some fossils end up becoming superheated and super pressurized, which leads to them basically being liquefied. And this liquid is known as oil. Well, that's basically all you need to know about fossils, the windows to the past. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.